Welcome to this first video I am uploading to my Mexicamelo channel in English. I know that for some people who speak Spanish, this might be a little bit unorthodox of me to start speaking in English, but today is a very special day, and the information that I have to give needs to be taken to other countries and not only to those who are speaking Spanish. So this is the first of many more to come. Things are changing, as I am sure many of us can feel. Today is Gregorian December 27, 2014, and as many people that have come to this channel already know, this channel is about the law of time, which is a new time dispensation from Jose Argüelles Balumbotan, and is giving us the opportunity to reconnect with our true nature. And what I say by reconnecting to your true nature is not only as a human, but as a spirit that lives within and that comes from the cosmos. So why today? Why not before? Why not after? Well, that is a very good question. In the dream spell count, I will be putting some links in this video so that you can go and search for the information on your own. In the dream spell count, today is Kin 163, which is the energy of the blue resonant night, and we're in the middle of the wave spell of the earth, the red earth. We connect every day from different points of view. One is the heptad, which is like the week. It's one measure of 7 days. Another one is the wave spell, is a measurement of 13 days. Another one is the moon, or a month of 28 days. We have also the solar year, and there are many other layers of time that can be measured through the dream spell that was brought forth by Jose Argüelles Balumbotan. But this wave spell, this set of 13 days, is very special for me because my kin, or my galactic signature, is magnetic wind, white magnetic wind, kin 222. The wave spell that we're living right now began exactly on December the 21st. And in terms of the oracle, I will give you all the links so that you can go and check out the information for yourself. In the oracle, my kin 222, is like the best friend of kin 157, which is the beginning of this wave spell. And today we're right in the middle of the wave spell of the earth. So the purpose for these 13 days was to attract the navigation, attract the evolution, so that we can transcend the purification and the feminine energy. These 13 days begin with red energy and will end with red energy, and it is the red cosmic moon, the one that will be closing this cycle of 13 days, this wave spell, and the day will be January the 2nd, 2015. So right now we're in the middle of the wave, so to speak, and tomorrow is kin 164. The energies of tomorrow are very special and very important, and I am doing this very last minute because I wasn't planning on sharing this information, but it is time that I do it through my voice. Normally I write these things, but it is time also to reactivate other media with this information, so that you will get to know me and my work and the work of the foundation also, and the work of many other people that I am associated with right now. And tomorrow is a very special day for many of us in this movement of the change of calendar for a 13 moon new calendar. So we're going to what we're trying to do is change the perception of time that we're living, because the actual time template that we're working with is a template that is forcing us to think that money is time, and so we are enslaved. We're always thinking that what matters the most is money, and in order to show to the world who you are, you have to buy things to amaze them and to pretend to be what you really are not. So we have totally lost focus on our divine nature because we're so connected to the technosphere, or to the sphere of technology. And we are valued for what we have and not for who we really are. So we're trying to change that with this new time template, which is the 13 moon calendar, or as I will start calling it right now, synchronometer, because it's gonna start helping us to synchronize ourselves with cycles that are related to nature, but not only the nature on Earth, but also nature throughout the galaxy and the cosmos. So as I was saying, tomorrow is Kin 164, it's yellow galactic seed. And if we go back 528 days, it was July 26, 2013, which is the cycle after the closing of the cycle, when everything would start to be synchronized according to these galactic codes of time. And certainly many people think that after December 21st, 2012 came and went and nothing big happened, no big booms, no big spaceships came or anything happened, then a lot of people thought, well, the Mayans were wrong, this was a sham and this is all wrong. And I think that many people lost the focus on what the dream spell, what Arguelles' count is really giving us. What this count is giving us is like the basis or the codification for time from another kind of perspective. And I will be reading to you some lines in a bit to clarify a little bit more about this. So tomorrow's energy, the seed is, it's very obvious. If you have ever made one of those science projects at school where you put the little seed inside the earth and you put some water on it and you let nature do its thing, the seed will just grow and flower. And the galactic tone, which is the tone 8, is talking to us about harmonization. So the energies of tomorrow, or it will probably be today for you, which is December 28th, is to harmonize the intentions that we're putting into the cosmos, into our lives. These days are very special and very hard for many people because the holidays tend to be very lonely times, especially for people in the northern hemisphere, with winter and the cold and many things going on that make it difficult to deal with these holidays. So when you start counting time from another perspective, as we're doing it, you start detaching from all the pain and all of this programmation that is connected to the holidays, and you start seeing time from another perspective. So I will read to you the meaning of this day, which is: I harmonize in order to target, modeling awareness. I seal the input of flowering with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of elegance. So this day that happens every 260 days, although each time with different kinds of energy, what this energy is telling us is that it's time to let the seeds that we have put already on earth blossom, and not trying to impose how that blossoming has to take place, how the flowering has to come. What we have to do is just trust the process, because the energies this year have been really, really hard for many people. There is an incredible awakening of consciousness in many countries, like in Mexico, in the United States. People are saying enough is enough, we need a change. But I think that the problem that many of us had was when December 21st came, 2012, many of us were expecting our big brothers from space would come along and save us, or some kind of miracle would be given to us. Like we're expecting something from the outside to come with a magic wand and put everything in place, and that's not how it works. And there were many expectations, and when those expectations were not met, obviously many people's hearts were crushed and they were very sad. And so what we're doing when this happens is blocking the energy even more and more. And the tests and trials have been really hard this Gregorian year, this 2014. And I am sure many of you know it as I know it, because we have lived very difficult things right now. But the reason why I'm giving you this information and why I'm sharing this is because maybe when we're just stuck into the 3D part of everything and we're just worrying about what we see in the news, or if there will be a devaluation or money problems or health issues or anything that is negative and is really really rooted on 3D, then we lose the focus on our divine nature and our role as galactic archetypes on Earth. We tend to think that we are the body having a spiritual experience, instead of remembering that we are spirits living a human experience. So the purpose of this video is a little bit trying to using this energy of the galactic seed and what it meant, because the galactic synchronization was, it meant that after December 21st, 2012, the new beam was coming along and everything would be okay and things would fall into place. And I remember very well on December the 20th, 2012, I was in Palenque and I had been in a cacao ceremony, and I was so full of love and joy, and I was like, yes, this is it, we're gonna get there, and all the help of the world is gonna come, all the blockages are gonna go away. And I thought, this is it. And I'm sure many of you who are listening to these words right now were feeling the same that I was feeling at that point. But then the date came, and then everything continued, and we were seeing no signs of things getting better. And then Galactic Synchronization comes along, which is July 26, 2013, and we're saying, yes, it's just that we needed this time to just like kind of do the cleansing, because the new things are coming, but we have to clean house, and that's why it had been so hard. But then Galactic Synchronization came, and things still seem very out of place and very chaotic, and everything's hurting. And then all of these events, these celestial events happening in the past few months, the red moons and earthquakes and the solar spots, and all of these things are affecting us. And we thought that maybe this would empower us to put things into place, but instead it brings more chaos about. And perhaps it is because we're still expecting everything to be fixed from the outside instead of doing our part. And so the purpose of this video is trying to help us remember the importance, first of all, of changing the way we measure time. We need a time measurement that is more accurate towards what we're trying to achieve, not a time measurement that is going to enslave us more and more. So that's the first point. And the second point is to remind us that the change we want to see in the world has to begin with us. And I was not obviously the author of these words. I mean, these are things that we tend to forget. And many great people have said it before we have. But sometimes everything is so dense and so hard that we forget. So let me talk to you a little bit about something new that just came out a couple of hours ago. And it was written by Stephanie South, also known as the Red Queen, and she is the apprentice of Jose Argüelles Balumbotan. She's an amazing person. She's a great teacher. She's a very, very loving woman. And I will leave you here in the video the link to her latest blog, because I think that what she has to say there is very accurate as to, okay, what are we expecting? What is really going on? Where are we going? But before talking about this Galactic Renaissance, which I found amazing, and that's the title of this video, the Galactic Renaissance, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the Galactic Maya and all the background on that. And here I'm reading words by her in her newest book called Accessing Your Multidimensional Self, and it says, the mission of the Galactic Maya has its origins in the stars. The different star systems comprise one intergalactic federation. This mission began a long time ago by Earth standards and is anchored in the Pleiades with various jumping off points, including Arcturus, Antares, and Sirius. The Pleiades is also known as the shining anchor, as our solar system rotates around Halcyon, the great central sun, the main star of the Pleiades, in a 26,000 year cycle. So we can all be called Galactic Maya, and we have to be thankful to the Maya from the Yucatan Peninsula here in Mexico, because they were the ones anchoring this count of time that is so amazing and incredible. But now we're taking it to another level, because what we're doing, and there's a bit of a spoiler part here. If you haven't watched the movie Interstellar, please go watch it, because after I read more of this information, then everything will make sense to you when you watch the movie. And if you have watched the movie, then you will understand what I'm talking about. We are receiving information from them. Who is them? That is a very good question. And personally, I think that they are our own selves, maybe in the future, or maybe it is our higher dimensional selves, or our brothers and sisters from the stars that are trying to talk to us through synchronic codes and telling us what to expect from each day, and what is our mission in life, and why do we get along with some people and not so much with others, and who we really are. And as in the movie Interstellar, they have these codes that can be used to communicate, because we are so immersed in the 3D that we forget many things, and they have a broader scope, a broader view, and if we connect to them through these codes, then we're going to start receiving information, and that's going to help us very much in our purpose in life. So I'm going to start reading now a text that I wrote a while ago, and it says, those of us familiar with the dream spell and the law of time know that the body of information transmitted to many kin on these special times come from more than one galactic source. The daily practices of the synchronic order open up our senses to receive telepathic transmissions from our star siblings in different points of the galaxy, but also from different times. We can feel how past, present, and future are merging into one, and the synchronicities are helping us remember why we are here. Synchronicities come to us not only as events taking place at a certain moment in time, but also in occurrences that make the telepathic connection between beings evident and traceable. We can find numbers repeating themselves, facts taking place in predictable cycles, or thoughts coming into our consciousness that are later corroborated in many different ways. Like, for example, when you're thinking about someone and that person calls you or emails you. Sometimes a synchronicity is framed by a time marker, but not always so. Sometimes it is represented in a person's energy or an event. And with the help of the Galactic Maya Synchronometer, also known as the Mayan calendar of 13 moons and 28 days and the Tzolk'in, we can access to a vast array of information coded by the 1328 and the 1320 frequencies. We come to understand these matrices as very elegant glimpses of the true nature of synchronicity. As we are still living in a 3D reality, trying to fit in the mathematics of higher dimensions through the experience of time can only be achieved through the harmonics of the law of time. We are using standards of time that are always constant and help us build a bridge to higher dimensions based on the cycles we live as a planet. We take into account the seasons, the movements of the stars and planets, our very own biorhythms through these simplified harmonics that transcend time and space altogether, yet connecting us precisely to space and time. The beautiful simplicity of this proposal allows us to track personal, group, planetary, and even galactic synchronicities very easily, to understand who we are, our roles in the galactic saga taking place, and remember, wake up from the collective dream spell we are immersed into. So this last part that I read to you is very much what is going on in the movie Interstellar. It's like they are in the Tesseract, they being our brothers and sisters from the stars, our higher dimensional selves, angels, all of these beings that are living in other dimensions. They are there in the Tesseract and they're trying to find a way to connect with us and to give us information. But if you try to bring down information from higher dimensions into a very dense dimension as the one we're in, things can tend to be misinterpreted, or it's very hard to communicate them because everything is so subtle and so full of light there. Then when you come into the darkness and the heaviness of this dimension, then it's not very easy to give you this information. So with the proposal of Jose Arguelles, what we're doing, because there are many measurements of time, natural measurements, which are very good and they are excellent, but they are not as precise in these cycles, in these synchronic cycles, as the one presented by Jose Arguelles Balún Botan. It is a very simplified way, like taking off layers and layers of energy that is not really needed to give us a glimpse of what is really going on. And when you start coding yourself and you start coding events in your life and experiences and many things, and you start comparing, then you find the synchronicities to be incredible and speaking to you. These are living codes that transcend time and space. So this is what the yellow galactic seed is reminding us about. It's the codes are there for you to use them and to connect with these higher dimensions and to download information and to receive any kind of thing that you need in order to do what you came to do in this lifetime. So we have these codes for time and space and synchronicity. And what is the purpose of it? It's not only guidance, but it's also helping us to try to connect to the galactic culture. And this is connected with the Banner of Peace and Nicholas Roerich. And because what he proposes is where there is culture, there is peace, and where there is peace, there is culture. So we have to create a new culture of peace on Earth, but a peace that is real, a peace that is authentic, that is livable, and is not attached to any political strings. It's not attached to any economic interests. It has to come to the core of our divine being, not even the human part, because the human part can be very easily corrupted. But we have to connect with a peace that is really the divine peace of creation. And in order to do that, we have to connect with the galactic culture. So we're going to bring a piece connected to a galactic culture. When what it means is that we're not thinking of ourselves as just little humans that have to go to work and that have to pay for bills, but we're talking about you as an agent of change in the cosmos, not only on Earth. So according to the precepts of Nicholas Roerich, the essence of true human culture is light. This light is the light of innate spiritual awareness, which illumines the pathways of all human endeavor, constituting what we call culture. When this perception is at the center of human affairs, then culture becomes the standard of a living peace, which is why Roerich declared, where there is peace, there is culture, where there is culture, there is peace. It is clearly this perception of culture that must be the nucleus of the coming cosmic civilization. But how are we going to connect with a cosmic civilization if we are not even connected to our divineness, to our cosmic selves? So the purpose of these codes is to help us remember that we all are a part of a greater story that goes far away in time and in space, because we're all connected. We're connected to the first human beings that were born on this earth. We're connected to all of the people that came walking since then. So it's not only me right now, but it's also my ancestors. It's also all the artists and all the workers and all the free thinkers that came before us in any part of the world. And so what we're trying to do is anchor the galactic culture on Earth. And what is the galactic culture? It is a universal cultural form made possible by the discovery of the law of time. So what is the law of time? The law of time states that time is art. If you let time do its thing on nature, it will only give you beautiful artistic things. If you let the seed that has been planted grow in its own time, it will give you beautiful flowers and a great perfume. But if you try to put your times into the plant, and that's what we're doing right now, with feeding all of our animals with hormones and changing all these the DNA in our crops and all of these things, we are twisting nature. So we have to change our point of view from time is money to time is art. And based on the intrinsic mathematical codes of the universal timing frequency, which base ratio is 1320, the galactic culture is the discovery of these universal mathematical principles within the structure of the human organism and its functioning within the planetary whole as a single unitary being. Galactic culture assumes that intelligence coordinated by the universal frequency of synchronization can be placed in a condition of mental or psychic resonance with the entirety of the galactic whole, of which it is an operating unit. So what we're going to do when we access these codes is become one with the galactic whole. We become one with our higher selves. We become one with our societies, with our families, with nature, and with ourselves. We connect to ourselves and we remember who we really are. So what does Renaissance mean? And this is from the words of Stephanie South, Red Queen. Renaissance means rebirth. The first European Renaissance was a cultural movement that saw revolutions in all forms of human endeavor, from the arts to science to mathematics, philosophy, literature, and religion. So what are we trying to propose through this video that I'm doing right now? We are trying to make you understand that the tool is already there for you to use it, and that you can be a part of this galactic renaissance. And this galactic renaissance is the revolution of time in action. So we start changing the way we live our time, and then we're starting this revolution of consciousness, of peace and light and art, on all things beautiful. But we have to be a part of it ourselves. We cannot expect it to come from the outside. And these are words also from her. It says, as each of us begins to find and express our own unique channel, then sooner than later we will break out of this confining artificial cocoon and become glorious galactic butterflies soaring in a new atmosphere. When we are aligned with the new beam, there is no past to return to. There is nothing to defend. There is no image to maintain. There is no one to compete with. It's all over. We're just surrendering. We're letting go and letting God. And we're severing every attachment we've had with the story of our families and our own stories and our hurt and our pain and our sorrow. And we just let that go and we just start to fly. So also from her, the past is over, a new spell is cast. In light of the new sun, divine romance at last. So I hope you enjoy this video. I'm sorry if it's a little bit long, it's a half hour of me speaking, but I was trying to convey many things that probably many people who have never heard about the law of time or the 13 moon calendar or the galactic Maya, you probably have no idea at all of what I'm talking about or trying to kind of figure out from what I just said. So this is why this is a little bit long, but I will be posting some more videos in the coming days to talk more about the energies that are accompanying us. And just to remind you that time is art. We are here to create a new paradigm, and this is a very good tool to do so. And it empowers us. We don't need anyone else to do this work for us. We don't need a guru or a teacher. You can learn these tools by yourself, and then you can empower yourself, and then you can decide, what am I going to do with these energies? What am I going to do with these synchronicities? How can I connect better to my higher self, to myself, and to others? How may I serve the universe? So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will wait for your comments, or if you have any questions, I will be very happy to try to reply to them as best I can. So I salute you wherever you are, and I hope to have you here on this channel very soon. In la catch.